Welcome back, A&L Nation. We're excited to bring you guys a new episode today. We're here in the Lindhardt's home. Reiss and Riley, check it out. You already know what it is.
You know what it is.
We're excited. We're going to try and bring the energy. We're going to try and bring the goofiness. We're going to try and just help you guys get to know us a little bit better.
It's a sour one.
Because we feel like, with some of the things that we're trying to accomplish, we feel like it's going to be really helpful. We know it's going to be really helpful. Where the freak did I put my phone? That's all my questions. I lost my phone. That's okay. I'll just go off of memory. For real, I do this like twice a day.
Down there, maybe? Where did it go? Because there's not many places it can go. My house is not that big.
Give me like 1 second.
Like if you lose something here. So this is mine and Riley's house. You walk in. There's a hallway back there. You walk in. Right to the right's a bedroom. Right to the right of that. Oh, you keep walking down the hall, bathroom. And then you keep going, and then it's this. Which is like right behind me, washer and dryer, kitchen, living room area. This is our table that we eat from. These are cherries. They're freaking good.
Anyways, found my phone, so we're ready to go. Shout out to my pass along Jesus card. Had it since my mission.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, we feel like with some of the things we're trying to do, it's going to be a lot more effective and hopefully helpful for you guys to be able to get to know us a little bit better and being able to feel more comfortable. And even for us as well, trying to feel more comfortable in front of the camera and in front of the microphones. And so one of the ways we want to do that is by being able to kind of help you guys get to know us a little bit better. And so we're just going to try and have a fun conversation, be able to be a little bit goofy, be able to help you guys get to know us a little bit. If there's any questions that you guys want to ask us, drop them in the comments below, and we'll answer those. So
I know who our OG commenter is. That man's name is Sam Merrill. So shout out to Sam Merrill.
Comments on like every video.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
I love it.
Shout out to Sam.
Maybe we'll have him on someday.
Maybe. Is that a hint? I don't know. That's cool. All right. If you had a superpower, what would you want it to be?
If I get injured or ill or anything like that, I heal.
Is there a super
instantly? Yeah, Wolverine.
Wolverine, okay.
Yeah, but even faster than him.
Faster.
Like he'll get cut, and then it'll start healing, but it'll just be like, you cut me, and it's like, right, healed.
I would want to be invisible, and I've wanted this since I was like little to be invisible because I just like I would just want to prank people. Like I just think it would be so funny to like go. I love tapping people on their shoulders and just being like, and then like hiding. And I feel like if I was invisible, I could do that all the time. Or you could go and pants someone and like they wouldn't even know, like their pants would just fall down. Or you could just be in places where you shouldn't be. Like you could just like sneak into the government buildings and like go listen to all their. I wouldn't accomplish anything good with it, but I just
sounds like a lot of trouble.
I've just always wanted to be invisible. Like I just think that would be so sweet. You just like, boom.
That would be cool.
Do whatever you want.
Have you seen the Harry Potter movies?
Yes, but it's been a really long time. Like I read all the books, I watched all the movies.
But were you a kid?
It's been a while. It was probably like 3rd or 4th grade.
Oh, yeah, because Riley and I are reading them right now.
You're on book 5, right?
Yeah, book 5, and it's like, bro, these books. It's funny how little kids read them because they're intense.
Yeah,
but I don't think little kids really. Maybe they like are actually like picturing what she's writing because at the end of book 4. I was like even kind of scared. I was like, how are little kids reading this? It's actually kind of scary. So anyways.
Is that your favorite nonfiction or not nonfiction?
Fiction?
Yeah, is that your favorite fiction book?
I haven't read a lot of fiction. So far, yeah, Harry Potter is like freaking good.
I remember
like
reading.
Nothing. It's so good, dude.
Like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, obviously.
Oh, I read those. Those
like,
were funny.
Your teachers, you can't write a book report on them. You're like, why?
It's a book.
It's a book. It's hilarious.
No, that one. Yeah, I read 1, 2, and 3. I think I read the 4th one. And I think I started the 5th one, and then I just like, that's when I died out.
Yeah.
But the first 3 are like actually well written.
Did you watch the movies for them? I know I've watched at least like one of them.
I think I've seen one, but the books, I liked the books. I read Hunger Games when I was in middle school. That was a really good one.
That was a good one.
That was really good. Like, I binge read that one.
It's like a page turner where you're like wanting to like you stay up late reading it.
And then, but yeah, Harry Potter is just it's they're long books, and you have to like be committed to, because sometimes she doesn't always like grip you to read the next chapter. But once you get to the end of each book, then it's just, you're so glad you read the whole thing, because all these different plot points that you read like in chapters, like all the way starting from the beginning of chapter 1, they all come together in the end. And it's like mind blowing how she writes it so well. The 4th book might be my favorite so far.
The Goblet of Fire.
Yeah.
Right?
No. Yes. Yeah.
Is that like the one where it's kind of like the games and they're like going through the maze? Okay.
Yeah. So like the movies, it's like obviously they don't compare because...
Is that the underwater scene where they're like trapped underwater? Okay, yeah. Okay.
So it's like obviously they don't compare because it's like you can't take... Book 4 is 734 pages. You can't take that big of a book that's so intricate and condense it into a 2-hour movie. Like you could condense that into like 5 2-hour movies if you wanted it to include, because there was major plot points. I guess not like they weren't super necessary for the storyline to progress, but there was fun plot points in the book that were not even in the movie. Like there's this whole thing with house elves in the book. Never showed up in the movie. Like Dobby wasn't in the 4th movie, but he's throughout like most of the 4th book. Things like that, where it was just like, once you've read the book, it's like, yeah, the movie's not going to be as good, obviously. Still really good movies. Like they did good with what they had to work with, but if you like reading, read the books. If
you could have one like movie series or TV series or book series be turned into real life and you could go join it. So like you could go be a wizard in Harry Potter. Which book series or TV series or movie would you want to go be a part of? For me, I want to be in The Office. Like I just think like that would be so funny to just like, I know you haven't watched like a ton of it, but like for me, I would love to just like go sit down and like be one of the salesmen and like have it like be legit. Like you're like actually like you live in Scranton, you actually work with Jim and Dwight, and you like Michael's like legit your boss, and like I just think that would be so funny.
That's how my job right now kind of feels.
It's like the actual office.
Yeah, I got a bunch of weirdo. Like we have so much fun. We're all weird, like in our own ways, and like you're just. Like we're selling to funeral directors, you know, so it's like we're calling people all day, and
Can I speak to you about your paper needs?
Yeah.
No,
dude, phone sales are tough. Anyone who's selling over the phone, then you're a trooper. But that's a good question. I've usually answered this question with SpongeBob because that's what I grew up on, and I love SpongeBob, and that would be a lot of fun. But Harry Potter would be sweet. Except for I took like the official sorting test.
What was your...
And I got Slytherin. So...
Dang. I feel like I would get Hufflepuff, so I just don't want to take it because I don't want...
You probably would. It's interesting like to see that the different houses kind of correlate with different personalities. But Slytherin, everyone thinks like, oh, you're a dark wizard. It's like, no.
There's good wizards.
They've produced the most dark wizards, but they're not all dark wizards. So it's like, I'm happy with Slytherin.
I love the movie, The Martian.
Oh,
Have you seen that one?
Mm-hmm.
I would love to be like stuck there with, I think it was Matt Damon.
Yeah, man.
Like, dude, he's literally, okay, except for like eating poop potatoes. Like,
and almost dying.
But like, I just have like, ever since I was little, I've just had this fascination with like, outer space and other planets and stuff. I feel like most people do because
it's interesting. Unknown. It's super unknown.
But like being able to like go to outer space and like be in like a survival mode type of thing, and like being able to just like see if you could do that, and like vlogging it like he does, like I just feel like that would be so sweet to like Maybe that's more so I just really like that movie. But I think that would be like really, that would be sweet to be a part of. So that would probably be my movie answer, and then my TV answer would be The Office. But yeah,
dude, yeah, movie answer would be Harry Potter. Then I never thought I would love Harry Potter this much because I never watched him growing up. Here and there on TV. I read the first book in middle school, but like kind of forgot about it quickly after that. And then Riley had never seen them, and we were like, let's just get the books, and now we love it. So,
speaking of which, what's the craziest thing you've done for love? Because that's kind of like, it's kind of interesting because like, I don't know about you, but like girls can like, you like hate something and they're like, oh, this is my favorite thing. You're like, oh, I'll give it a try. And then all of a sudden, like 2 weeks later, it's your favorite thing.
Yeah.
So besides like getting married and like, things like that.
Well, I would say that's part of it. Cause like, Riley and I, it's like so crazy to think about our story because we started dating in like a year ago in May. We pretty much were already dating before, like, but May we started dating, and then by June we knew we wanted to get married, and then by I think July we walked it. I think it was July it was July, end of July. We walked into the ring store to pick out a ring for her, and the lady, this saleswoman, she was like, oh, how long have you guys been together? Just trying to make small talk, and I was like 3 months, and then Riley was like, no, 2. And I was like, oh, yeah, 2 months. And she was like, oh, that's, she was nice, but it was just funny how it like threw her off guard because she's usually getting people coming in there like, 5 years. Yeah. Oh, 4.5 years. We finally decided it was time to get married. And
she's like, where are you from? You're like, Utah. Oh, makes sense.
Yeah, she's like, oh, yeah. Because then we told her our story. Like, as a missionary, she's like, okay, yeah. But like that was crazy. I mean, we were not planning on getting married so young in our lives, but that's what came, and it's been the best thing that's happened in my life so far. And so that was to Riley and I, it didn't feel crazy because it just felt so right. It didn't feel crazy, but to outside, like people thought we were nuts. So probably that. But what about you?
I would say, so when I came home from my mission, I was dating someone, and I ended up moving up to Rexburg, Idaho, so that we wouldn't have to do long distance. And I mean, like Rexburg's a tough place to live. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
Did you move up there when it was still winter?
Yeah, I moved up there literally for the worst time. Like I moved up there beginning of February and left like right as soon as it was starting to get warm. So I was like, that was another stupid choice. But anyways, so I moved up there, found the cheapest apartment I could, total dump.
And how much were you paying again?
It was like $600 a month or something like. So I like look at your guys' apartment. I'm like, this is so stupid. I was literally a studio. It was a studio apartment with a brick wall on one side. Like half of the flooring was coming up. It smelled like booty, and just like it was like the bathroom was so nasty. But like I just was like, I don't want to do long distance. So I was like, you gotta do what it takes. So I moved up to Rexburg and got a job and lived up there for a while. So that's probably the craziest thing I've done.
Yeah, man. I got converted to country music for like high school love. Like this girl, she's like, I love country music, and I was like, me too.
I guess.
Yeah, but I was like, all right, I'll give it a try, and then I did. Like I gave it an honest listen.
It's not the worst,
dude. I like it. I genuinely like it.
There's some that I can,
because I used to tolerate it, but I think I was more so just being like, oh yeah, like all those dudes are like, country music sucks. And then I gave it a listen, and I was like, ooh, I actually really like this. I have to be in the mood, but when I'm in a country music mood, that is all I listen to.
If you could go to any concert of someone dead or alive, who would it be?
Oh, gosh.
Mine would be Michael Jackson, just because I think like he's like also a really good performer outside of just like he's a really talented musician. So I think that would be really cool. And he's dead, so it'd be like sweet.
That's true. I don't know. Trying to think of like what artists I listen to most, but I kind of listen to a huge variety. I'm looking at some of my music. So Riley and I are going to a bunch of concerts this August and September in Ogden, and they're having this band come called Purity Ring. and it's like this low-key band from Edmonton in Canada, and they make sweet music, so I'm really excited to see them live. But I would really like to see 21 Pilots live.
I've heard their concerts are crazy.
I really like them, and but if I saw them live, I would like to see it in a smaller setting instead of the big arena concerts, because most concerts I've been to have been smaller, like 3 to 10,000 people, and it's just I've liked those ones better. I went to a concert that was like 900 people, and it was so good.
The only concert I've been to was a formerly James the Mormon concert on the campus of BYU. There was like 50 people there, and it was like...
I bet it was still kind of fun.
It was all right.
No, I love concerts, so that... I really want to see 21 Pilots, though, because I really like them. I listen to them quite a lot, so they would... And they're so talented, and they don't just go to sing their songs, like they perform. Mm-hmm. Like you were saying, like Michael Jackson, like they perform, they put on a concert, not just showcasing
That's what I've
music.
Heard about 21 Pilots, is that their concerts are crazy. Like,
yeah, so that would be...
See, I would want to go to a bunch of rappers' concerts, but it's just like, now that I'm home from my mission, I'm like, I don't... Just, number one, the environment, but number two, none of their songs are going to be clean. Number three, it's just like, I don't...
Yeah, I've been to some rap concerts, and they're rough. There's a rough crowd, man.
I'm like, I'll just listen to it while I work out.
Yeah, it's a rough crowd. It's cool.
Justin Bieber, that would be a cool
concert.
I would.
He was gonna come this Sunday, but moved it to next spring again. Okay. So it moved again. But
all right, that might be my answer behind Michael Jackson is Justin Bieber.
I want to see him live. I don't know what all the hate's about.
Did you know? Man. Okay. Did you know he had 3 separate albums for the Justice album?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know. I found that out like.
Oh, he has 2. I thought.
There's
the new one.
There's 3. Yeah, it's
because.
And there's different songs on each one, and I found that out like 2 weeks ago. So I've been just like bumping these new Justin Bieber songs I didn't even know like existed. Let me see.
I know. I knew he had the Triple Chucks Deluxe with the new ones. And then he has the low-key one that was released as a single, I think, but it has several songs in it that aren't on the album.
So
one
of them says Triple Chucks Deluxe/Deluxe video version, and there's some with Lil Uzi Vert on there, and I can't do myself Lifetime, and then there's also just the Triple Chunks Deluxe.
No, yeah.
Like, I was like...
Spotify just has them on, too.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, it has all those songs with those people.
I was like, what?
Yeah, that came out like
How did I not know about this?
When it came out, I was excited because I was already vibing with the album. And so then when, like, I think it was like 5 new songs were released, I was like, okay.
And they got, like, really good features. You got, like, Tori Kelly, Quavo, Khalid. Like, I was like, dang.
Yeah, no, that was a good one. But, yeah. Dude, I love concerts. I can't wait. I saw Chainsmokers live. They were really, really good live.
Was he there?
No. I don't think so.
I would have liked that.
I saw them live. Saw Logic live. Post Malone live. Group Love, which I'm going to see them live again this year. Sweet. Yeah, they're fun live. They party. So concerts are just so cool. The environment. But anyways.
All right, what was your worst mission meal that you had on your mission?
It's weird because it's like we went to a good
place. Virginia and for you North Carolina.
So it's like I was fed well. But 2 things. Okay, so in brief, I'm not going to tell the whole story because I typically tell it in like a 10-minute span. Mm-hmm. But there was this lady lived in a little trailer park and like tiny trailer because they have like wider trailers that most people live in, then they have these skinnier ones, and she lived in that kind, so it was puny. She had a big dog that did whatever he wanted and a cat, stunk really bad, and her trailer was infested with mice. Not just like a little bit of mice here and there, like infested, like mouse poop just everywhere. And you can hear them, and we were cleaning out a closet, and I picked up a box, and one was trying to jump out of this box, like everywhere.
You're like, Elder, we're going home and showering.
Yeah. Oh, it was so nasty. And so that was the task we were doing that day. Is we went at like 10 in the morning. So we're moving all this stuff from this closet out to her shed in the back, and there's like black widows in her shed. Like, I can't believe people live like this. And
it, to me, just real quick, blows my mind how many people live like that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Anyways,
dude, so we move all the stuff, and then she says, like, do y'all want lunch? I made lunch. Like, she had it in the crock pot, so we were like, all right. So we sit down, and she has like this little crock pot, and it's deer stew, which like would sound good if a member who had a clean house made it, but just the fact that she said, I made deer stew, elders, I was like, oh, that just sounds gross. And so she gave us our deer stew and handed me a spoon to eat it with, and the spoon had a piece of crusty mouse poop on it. Oh. And I was like a brand new missionary. This was my first Saturday in the field, like in North Carolina.
You're like, I'm going home.
And so I, like, if it would have been at the end of my mission, I would have, or even in the middle, you know, I would have matured enough just to be like, hey, can you just give me a different spoon? This one's got mouse poop on it.
Or been like, can I wash my spoon?
Yeah, just something. But I was just like real timid, and I thought like, this is what the mission's about, man. You just got to suck it up and hope you don't die. So I just rubbed it on my shirt while my companion was praying. While he was praying, I was praying. It's like, please don't let me die. And I freaking like scarfed it down. It tasted
okay.
It tasted fine. That's the thing. It tasted
like the environment was,
because I've had deer meat, and deer meat's good, and especially when you cook it in a crock pot, because it's tender. But it just tasted like roast beef with a lot of pepper on it.
Okay.
So it wasn't like good, but it wasn't bad. It just tasted like a lot of pepper on meat, and then was like, oh, thank you so much. And then, you know, she's like, y'all want to take some with you? And we're like, yeah, sure. And I told my companion.
Did you throw it away with gratitude?
Yes, we threw it away with gratitude. So threw it away, and then we made a pact we would never eat there again. And she tried to schedule us a bunch, and we always had something. But oh yeah, we got a places.
Our weekly
we got a
tracting appointment.
We got a point. That's what Sister Weed told us. She said if you need to get out of something that's like not just like, oh, I want to get out of this, but like it's better for you to get out of it. Like we literally are in danger of eating at her house. Like she probably has these weird immunities to all this stuff because she's lived there forever.
But for you guys,
it's like it's dangerous. So Sister Weed would be like, even if you have an appointment to tract for an hour, tell her. Like, hey, we have an appointment. And so we did. But, and then the other thing was in Harker's Island on my mission, both North Carolina. So in North Carolina and Harker's Island, I went to a member's house. They run a really famous, not famous, but successful food truck. So they know how to cook. Right. Cooked us chicken.
Was this at their food truck or at their home?
No, this is at their home.
Okay.
He was a police officer. I remember he got home like right as we got there. But anyways, we had chicken and I think mashed potatoes and broccoli, and it tasted good. And then I woke up like at midnight that night, and that's when I got food poisoning, and that was horrible. Like,
I know what it was from. Like, do you have any idea or guess?
I don't know. Like I guessed like maybe the chicken was raw, but my companion ate the chicken and he felt fine. But I'm like, maybe mine was more raw. I don't know if it was the chicken or if it was what it was. But my guess is it was the chicken was raw, and there can be inconsistencies like his, and it was brown meat chicken, which now I like hate. Like I'll eat chicken breast still, but it like totally turned me off to chicken for a while. But you know, mine could have been less cooked, but that was like a whole night awake. And then I just ate applesauce the next day, and I was like, Elder Davis, we're not doing anything today. Like, we are staying here. And like for 2 days, I lost weight. Like, it was crazy, dude. But again, like I never really had gross food, just bad experiences with it. Yeah. But what about you?
No, I feel like I have like 3, and 2 of them are kind of the same. But so I remember like coming into the mission and being like, asking like the experienced missionaries, like, what's the worst food you've had? And they'd be like, you know, we don't get a lot of gross food. A lot of it's just like not prepared well food.
Yeah, it's just
like,
not like
people not
food.
Knowing how to cook. And I was like, oh, like whatever. Like second transfer of my mission, I go to this member's house, and they're serving us chicken. I can't even remember what else was there, but she serves it to us, and she's like, "Hey, by the way, this might not be cooked all the way." I'm like, "Okay, number one, why are you giving it to us if you know it might not be cooked all the way?"
Especially chicken. What the heck?
Anyway, so I'm like cutting it, and I'd never seen like really raw chicken before, but like if you try and cut raw chicken with a fork, it doesn't work. Like it's just like you're just bouncing.
That's a good way to tell. Not the best way to tell, but one way I tell, because I'm super OCD about my chicken now.
Right.
But if I can cut it with a fork easily,
okay, it's probably
like not like butter, but like I can cut it easily, then I'm like, it's good.
So I look at my companion, I'm like, "Dude, why is this so hard to cut?" And he's like, "Dude, that is like completely raw chicken." I'm like, "Oh my gosh." But I didn't know, like, again, like I was brand new missionary. I didn't want to
you just
didn't want to like offend this person, so I like ate some of it. Like I just like cut off what I could and just like prayed that nothing bad. I didn't realize how bad that was at the time. I didn't like know how bad raw chicken can be for you. I was just kind of like, all right, well, and it was like cooked a little bit, you know, it wasn't like just a completely raw chicken.
Yeah.
But so that was pretty bad. My companions was the same thing, but neither of us ended up getting sick or anything. Like total miracle.
Yeah, that's gross, dude.
But then second one, so there was a lot of like African members of the church, like from Africa, up in Fredericksburg. And there was one time we went and visited them, and they were like, "Hey, we're like cooking cow tail." And I was like, do you guys want some? And I was like,
You're like,
really don't want some right now. But like, again, like this was probably like my third transfer. So again, like I was like, oh, I'm trying to get to know these members or whatever. So I try it. It wasn't like bad. It was just like gross to know that like it was just like it was like they had cut like like how you cut a cucumber. It's like that's how they had cut the cow tail, and then you like ate the meat around it or something. It was in some like weird green sauce, but like you don't eat the tail, you just eat the meat around it. I'm like, it was just like gross. Just the thought was gross. It wasn't like super bad. But worst one, because it wrecked me.
Oh no.
It was peanut butter soup. So again, this is like a member from Africa. And he's been hyping up this soup for forever to me and my companions at the time, and he feeds it to us, and it's like literally like he put the chicken like an alive chicken through the shredder, like, and you just got bones sticking out of everywhere. I don't know if you know much about like African culture, at least they just eat the bones, like they're like extra, like he's just like eating the bones. I'm like,
do you know what country he was from?
I couldn't tell you. I can't remember. But like I'm like, number one, that's got to be shredding the insides of your stomach. But
yeah.
And I'm like, number one, I'm not eating this. But it's literally peanut butter boiled in water, and he put like, I don't know what he put in there. It was like super spicy. And if you know me, I can't really handle spicy foods at all. So I'm like, number one, I'm eating peanut butter water that's spicy with like chicken bones in every piece of chicken. I'm like, I was like contemplating, I'm like, what the heck am I doing with my life? Like, I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's one of those moments where you're like, why did I choose to do this?
Yeah, you're like, I'm literally paying $10,000. This is stupid. Anyway, so I just remember like all me and my companions were just wrecked that night. Just like,
who were you with?
I was with Elder, I don't think you knew him, but Elder Wilkins. He was like the 27-year-old companion that I had, and then Elder Manuel. So I was with him at the time, and we're just like dying. So that was pretty rough. So yeah, that was pretty bad.
Dude, peanut butter boiled in water.
Peanut butter soup, man. It didn't taste bad. Like that was the weird thing, was I was expecting it to taste bad, but it was just like the environment, like this dude's literally eating bones right now, and like it's spicy. Anyways,
yeah.
Like weird.
See, but most of the food I had on my mission was like steak, roast beef, grilled chicken, baked chicken. Like,
what was the best meal?
Just good
meal
stuff.
You had?
There's this meal that they cook in the South, and it's called chicken and pastry.
I don't think I ever had that.
Forgot it. I just barely remember that. I was like, what was it called? So it's called chicken and pastry, and literally it's just chicken and pastry. So they make their own pasta, and it's just like rectangles, like thin rectangles pasta, and chicken, and I think they just cook it in like boiled water or something. But anyways, it has other stuff in it, obviously. But the first time I had it, I was like, this literally just tastes like normal food. Like it was good, but it was just good. And then the more I lived there, it just got like better and better and better. So that was one of my favorite meals. There was this old lady who would her family had been on that property since the Civil War. Like, she had been there forever. She was 90. She turned 96 when I was there. And we would do she turned 95. Yeah, she turned 95 when I was there, and we would do yard work with her, and she would make us this, and so good. Like, by the end of my time there,
Southern old ladies, there's something magical they do in the kitchen.
She would also make a pomodo sandwich.
I don't know.
Another thing I didn't know is I think it's called pomodo.
Is this in North Carolina?
Yeah. Okay. So North Carolina, in the boonies, but I think I'm saying it right. Pomodo. It's a pepper. It's not spicy. It's just it's a pepper, and it's just like pomodo peppers chopped up with like cheese in a sandwich. Like not like a grilled cheese or anything. And that was freaking good. Like, one day we were doing yard work for her, and she's like, "Y'all want me to make you a pomodo sandwich?" We're like, "Don't know what that is, but sure." And then we both were like, "Dang, y'all, you got to make us more pomodo sandwiches."
There was this chicken salad sandwich. Her name was Sister Del Bianco.
Del Bianco.
Yeah. Wow. She was like classic Southern grandma. Like, I remember reading my journal and being like, she's just the sweetest old Southern lady. Anyways, she made us these chicken sandwiches after doing service one time. And me and my companion were like, we got to look for ways to do service for her because that was so freaking good. We just want more chicken sandwiches. So I think we went we actually were doing service for her. We weren't like doing that, but we were like, oh, I guess we have to go again. Yeah. And so we went 2 or 3 days in a row, and we got them oh my gosh, it was so good. There's another Fast Sunday. They just made like a Thanksgiving dinner. Mm-hmm. When the members feed you, you can't really choose when. And she's like, "We're having dinner at 12," and I was like, "Sweet, we don't have to fast."
When I lived in Deep Run, there was a family who they signed up every single Fast Sunday. It was just that's what they always did. Every single Fast Sunday, dinner's at 1. And I loved that because, like, bro, fasting as a missionary sucked. Like, I remember one time, I think you might have gone home, or maybe you were with me and Brinkerhoff, but I remember Jackson was with me. I think you might have been there. It was either you or Saunders, but we fasted it ended up being like over 24 hours. It was close to 24 hours, I think, and I had never fasted that long in my life.
You're like dying.
I was so hangry.
Yeah.
It was bad. I was like, this is bad. I need to eat something. Angry. Yeah, it's hard, man, especially when you're working. It's like, I need to eat something. Anyways, yeah, dude, I'm so lucky, like, with the meals I had on the mission. They were so good.
Nothing too, especially, like, in a lot of the areas I finished my mission in were, like, really nice family wards. So I was just, like, getting a nice family meal every night.
Like Richmond.
Yeah, Glen Allen, I don't think I ever really had any gross, like, food. And we had Sister Drew Bay cook us dinners.
Yeah. Remember that one family?
So freaking good.
Remember that one family who we were helping them move out, and they had so much stuff in their house. Like, it was insane. Their attic was completely full. Their living room was completely full. They were moving out of the ward.
Oh, yes.
They made dinner for us one night, and it was like a really unique dish. It was
it the
good,
from Louisiana? The dish was from Louisiana.
Maybe. I can't remember what it was. Anyways, but I just remember it was unique, but it was good. That's like my whole mission, though. Just good American food.
Get Southern, get some mashed potatoes.
I ate a lot of seafood, and that was a nasty one. Like in Harker's Island, when I lived there, it was shrimp season. It was winter. They were catching tons of shrimp, and like, bro, the shrimps are like huge, and I like shrimp if it's cooked or baked, and I can eat raw ones if they're small, but these were huge. They were just boiled, and they hadn't deveined them yet, because it's like they've grown up on this stuff, so they don't devein them. Right. There's just this big black vein running through it, and it was
don't they have poop on their back?
I don't know, but it was gross, dude. I did not like that. And then I had raw oysters in Harker's Island too, which actually not that bad. Tastes like salt water. That's it. Yeah, it tastes like the ocean. Like, seriously. And those I just wanted to try. So that was like, the member didn't force me. He's just like, you want to try raw oysters? And I was like, yeah, I do. And I had 2 of them, and they weren't that bad. So anyways.
There you go. What's your favorite smell?
This microphone.
I love the smell
this is one of them,
of new sneakers, like Nike. I could just smell my new shoes all day long. Like, it just smells so good. I don't know what it is, but it just, like, I can like, especially when there's a lot of leather on the shoe, just really potent. Like, Oh my gosh.
Dude, there's some books that I like. Some books smell kind of weird, but there's like this certain type of smell that comes from new books sometimes.
Like
and
the
it's
smell of
so
money.
good. I like the smell of money because I like money.
Yeah.
But this smells good.
It
smells like the little black paintbrushes.
Yes.
Like exactly like that.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's the exact same material.
I love glue or gasoline.
Yeah, gasoline low key smells good, but I'm like, anytime I like get a whiff of it, I'm like,
does it actually kill your brain cells?
It's not good. There was this dude who inhaled gasoline up in Cache Valley. This was years ago when he was in middle school every day for who knows how long, and he can't control going to the bathroom annoymore. So he has to wear an adult diaper for the rest of his life. Like, I don't know what it did. It just happens. So this poor dude is sniffing gasoline as a...
You just walk in, Jimmy, what are you doing? You just like going ham on the skates.
Yeah, dude, it's weird.
Or they'd give us like super glue in elementary school, and you'd be like, Your teacher like, hey, Carter, stop sniffing the super glue. You're like, it smells so good. Why do you think it smells? I want to know why it smells so good. Like,
There's got to be some chemical in there.
It smells
because it does. And gasoline smells good too. Like when you're getting the fumes of it.
Not just like smelling it straight.
I like pine, like not just like a pine candle's good and stuff, but I mean like when I'm up like in the mountains.
In the forest.
Yeah, so I really like the way that smells, and I like the way these mountains smell. Like there's a certain smell once you get way up on the mountain, away from everything. It smells like the mountain. I like it.
New car smell. I love that.
New cars always smell nice.
You're just like...
I'm trying to think like...
I like my
cologne.
Perfume and cologne.
Mm-hmm.
Like when a girl or dude is wearing like good, like even a dude, like you just feel so much more comfortable around them. Like when they smell good. So it's like, I like perfumes and colognes. I think they smell real good.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Do you have a least favorite smell?
Sulfur's not good. Have you ever been to Yellowstone?
You
ever been to Yellowstone, bro? It stinks, man. It's so gross. It's so beautiful, but it's like your eyes are beholding one thing and your nose is just having a bad time. It's nasty, dude.
There's this one time me and my family went to Olive Garden. I don't know what, like...
What?
I don't know what happened, but like there's some sulfuric thing going on in the garbage can.
Sulfuric.
And so we like parked
Big
by
work.
it, and we're like that smells gross. Like it smells like a fart or whatever. Anyways, we come back out, and literally like our whole car just smells like the worst fart of all time. And like we're driving home, and we're all like gagging and crying because it just is like.
Did you roll the windows down?
Yeah, we rolled the windows down.
No, it's sulfur is gross.
I'm trying to.
Very gross.
I'm trying to.
I think that might be one of the worst smells.
I'm trying to think if there's like something that like makes me gag if I like smell it or whatever. But I can't.
I don't
think
think
of
anything does.
I think sulfur might be anything sulfur related.
Mm-hmm. Like even if it has that smell, or if it's actually sulfur,
or if it's from a human. Or something.
Especially, that's nasty, dude. That means something ain't right with your digestive system.
If you, before your mission, if you could have chosen where you served, where would you have wanted to go?
Okay, to preface, because assuming that I didn't know I was going to meet my wife,
right?
Honestly,
this is 18-year-old version of us.
18-year-old and just out of high school. Maybe like Spain, because I wanted to learn Spanish, but I didn't really want to go south of us. It would be cool to go to Spain. So I think Spain was one that I was like, I won't mind if I go there.
Like that. Because I have hemophilia, I couldn't go outside of the U.S. just because of the shipping my medicine outside. So I knew I was going to the U.S. I wouldn't have wanted to go outside of the country anyways, just because I'm a baby and didn't want to get used to like it was culture shock for me going to Virginia. I was like, holy crap, these people's houses are like 100 years old. Even if they're nice houses, I was just like, anyway, I'm just
bro. The houses are way different.
Stuck up rich kid from Utah County. Anyways, having culture shock in Virginia. That makes me sound like a tool. Anyways, I wanted to go to North Carolina so bad just because I'm a huge North Carolina fan. I just was like, that would be my dream mission, just to go to North Carolina. So I opened my mission call. I'm not very good at geography, and so I like open my mission call and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, Mom, it goes into North Carolina, and I start crying. Like, I'm just like having this spiritual experience of like, God is so good, just
it
like
was meant to be.
God knows me, church is true, like just. And my mom's like, you're an idiot. It literally cuts off right at
the
North
line.
Carolina.
Hey, but you did get to go to North Carolina one time.
But God is good, and he does know me.
And we went to Elizabeth City one day to pick up a car.
Chick-fil-A and taped my receipt from North Carolina in there. So, yeah, I wanted
Still
to
have that in your journal?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's fully faded. You can't see anything on it, but it's like whatever. I know where it is. But yeah, so I wanted to go to North Carolina like super bad. So
yeah.
Now like looking back on it, like it's pretty cool how it all worked out. And
yeah,
obviously I love Virginia too.
Yeah, that's why like hindsight, it's like I would pick the same mission. But yeah, 18-year-old self, yeah, probably Spain, because I was fine with staying in the country or not, but I was like, man, Spain would be cool. Just because Spanish, like I still want to learn Spanish.
To speak the language?
Yeah, I said, like, I can't remember how the question was posed in the mission papers, but I remember it was like, don't want to learn a language, kinda, wouldn't mind, really want to learn a language, and like so badly, something like that. And I think I chose like in the middle, like
I chose.
Yeah, I want to learn.
Not want to learn one.
Yeah,
and I would be bad at it.
Yeah, I think I put something in the middle where I was like, yeah, I would learn a language if that's where I got called, but I don't really care either way. And
I was more worried about what language I was going to speak than where I was going to go. Like, honestly, really? I did not want to speak a language. Like, I just was like, I think we've talked about that. I don't know why. I would just get so much like anxiety going on like Spanish exchanges or whatever, just because I was like, dude, I don't want my lack of like being able to express the gospel to be I know obviously like it's not how it works, but I was just like, I didn't want to have to worry about learning how to communicate with people. I just was like wanted to go out and work. I was like, I don't want to have to like have my inadequacies like be the reason like I can't go out and work.
Yeah.
So I was just like so like. I
learned a few Spanish phrases from the missionaries.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Like one time I got a dude's attention in this it was like those markets where they have like Asian food, Mexican food, all that. And yeah, I like this one dude was like loading one of the shelves and I don't remember what I said. One of the elders told me what to say. It was just something like, "Hey man, we're the missionaries, what's up?" And like I said it in Spanish. I was so nervous. And then he's like, he said
little reading cards to look at, and I'm like shaking. I'm like,
because I still remember how to say, "Somos los misioneros de la Iglesia de Jesucristo de los Santos de los Últimos Días."
Dang, that sounded pretty good too.
But that's all I remember, and I remember how to say, "Tiene un fe en Jesucristo."
What does that mean?
Do you have faith in Christ?
I know, Padre Celestial. That's probably not even how you pronounce it.
Yeah, you sound so white.
Heavenly Father.
Padres Celestial.
Padre.
But anyways, yeah, Spain, man.
That would be cool. What when you were little or like growing up, did you ever have a secret admirer?
Yeah, dude.
You're like, which one?
Yeah, which one, man? Come on. Yeah, high school, bro. There's this girl. Forgot her name, man. She signed my yearbook though.
Ooh.
Like when I was a senior, leaving. What was her name? Evelyn. I remember. Evelyn, if you're listening to this. I'm married.
He's married.
So she was like a grade below, I think, but she was so weird. And she started liking me when she got to the school. I don't know why. Like, she would just see me around school, and she ended up telling one of my friends named Malachi. It became like this joke. But she was so funny. And then, yeah, like senior year, I was like, "Evelyn, will you sign my yearbook?" She was so excited. I wonder what she put. My yearbook is literally explicit. Like what the kids wrote in there. I'm like, I can't let my kids look at this. It literally says the F word, and like just from what the kids wrote in there, I was like, crap, man.
My yearbook is probably just a bunch of stupid Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what am I gonna do when my kids are like, I want to see your high school yearbook? I'm like, nah,
no, that's okay.
It's gone.
That's okay, buddy.
Yeah.
We can look at your mom's.
Yeah.
And then you see what's written in there. You're like, honey, what the heck?
You're like, all right, we're gonna get mine out.
This is way worse than what was written.
But yeah, man, Evelyn.
There was this girl in 7th grade. For me, I had never. I didn't know what the term going out meant. I thought like that meant like let's go on a date. I didn't know that meant like let's be boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever. At least that's what it meant at my school.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
I would wear this Derek Jeter like t-shirt jersey a lot. And so like I noticed this girl that sat across from me in English like kept writing like I heart Jeter like all over the place. And I was like, who the heck is Jeter? And I ended up finding out that was like her code name for me. Anyway, so we would play footsies and stuff during like English
oh my
gosh,
dude.
And then one day I ruined it. But like anyway, I don't know how long like she was doing the Jeter thing before I found out it was me. I was just like, dude, this girl really likes Derek Jeter.
Wait, how old were you?
7th grade, so like
guys
puts me at like 11 or 12 or something.
12 or 13.
Yeah.
Maybe. No, yeah, I think you're right. 11 or 12. I don't know.
It's sometimes, yeah. Anyway, so one day she passes me a note and she's like, will you go out with me? This is what I respond. I said, what would we do? Because I thought we were going to go on a date. And she responds, never mind. Literally never talk to her again.
That's very 7th grade-ish.
I know, I messed up. She probably was the one.
Could have married her.
No, but I was kind of a secret admirer /
that
little
is
crush.
So funny.
It's just like, yeah, it was really uncomfortable. Not super cool. But do you want to ask the introvert extrovert?
Yeah, we'll finish off with that. So, are you more of, I guess, yeah, are you like more extroverted or more introverted? Or, I mean, you can take the question any way you want because it's very subjective in a lot of ways because it's like, well, I'm more introverted when I'm here and more extroverted when I'm here and blah, blah, blah. But like, yeah, that's the question, I guess.
I think for me, like, obviously, like what you just said, it's very situational. When I'm in front of my class or when I'm in a group of people that I'm very comfortable with or when I'm on a date or whether I'm like in a group of people, I'm pretty extroverted. Like I'm not going to be the one to sit back and like let things come to me or like hope someone else carries the conversation or
I gotta slow down on these cherries, man. They're in season. Sorry, they taste perfect.
And so like if I'm in like a situation where I'm pretty comfortable with people and pretty like feel a responsibility, I'm gonna be pretty extroverted. Not like crazy like going up and meeting new people, but like anyways, so like,
but you have no problem approaching people.
Maybe it's more of a sense of if I feel a sense of like responsibility in a situation, I'm gonna be pretty extroverted. But when there's not necessarily a sense of responsibility or I'm in a situation where I don't know anybody, I'm pretty introverted. I'm not gonna. I will talk to you and like I can like obviously carry a conversation, but I'm not really gonna go up and start like a conversation or like at family parties. I'd rather just like sit on the couch and talk with my dad than like go and meet Aunt Susie or whatever. And
yeah.
So like it just kind of depends. I would say I would mostly extroverted, but I also love just spending time by myself. Like I could go all day just hanging out in my room or my house and be totally fine with that. Like my family was gone in Lake Powell last week for a full week, and I was like, most people, like obviously I went out of the house and I did like hang out with people. It was like most people would probably have like a tough time with this, but I was like, I honestly like love just spending time by myself. So I would say it's probably like 60% extroverted, 40% introverted, but yeah, it depends on the situation. What about you?
Yeah, so I'm pretty similar. I would just say I have more extroversion. Like at family parties, it's weird because I'll always have this
literally hate family parties.
Really? Yeah, I'll have this mindset where I'm like, or like at the wedding last night, like Maddie and Jackson's wedding, I'll have this mindset where I'm like, oh, I don't want to go in here really and talk to all these people. But then I do, and then when I leave, I'm just like so energized and so hyped up, and I'm so happy that I did. That can happen with a family party. Not all the time, but a lot of family parties. Like 2 Sundays ago, I hadn't seen a lot of my family for like over a year.
Maybe it's because I just don't like my
yeah, because my extended family on my mom's side is they're great, and like we get along real well, and so they came over, and I was just like total extrovert mode the whole time, just so excited. But yeah, I think I'll get like thoughts where I'm like, I don't want to approach this person, or I don't want to
regret doing it.
Yeah, but I love it. I like thrive on it, and then I'm always reminded. I'm like, yeah, like I'm definitely more extroverted. Obviously, I have those introverted times where like I need to get away and do a hour-long meditation by myself, or have 2 hours by myself. Like I need that alone time, like everybody. But I do well. I'm more extrovert. I'd probably say like 75-25, maybe even 80-20 is probably more accurate, around there. I've never taken like a legit test or anything to find out, but I would say probably in those numbers is probably 80-20 is probably more accurate. So yeah, I think it's interesting. It's cool how
you don't have to just be one or the other.
Yeah, because I think when the terms started coming out more into mainstream talk, because it used to just be like psychologists would really talk about that, and then more people started talking about it, and it was like, I'm an introvert, he's an extrovert, and it's like, well, no, you're a mixture of both in some way, it's in some form. And so it's kind of fun to kind of think like, well, what am I? And one thing I have to like get past is like those thoughts of like, I don't want to go be with all these people, but I'm like, but my being, it's like I do. So it's like, what's your core? Not just the thoughts of
fear.
Not the fear or the anxiety. What's like the core you desire? Because Riley's told me that like in high school she got more introverted, but her core energy is definitely more extroverted. And so it was just kind of thoughts that were tainting that natural part of her. So it's interesting, man, but personalities are very interesting, and we all have different personalities. And it's cool to like learn about yours, so then you can learn how to operate better for yourself in the world, but also like
it's like having an instruction manual for yourself.
Yeah. And then like if you're married or with your friends, knowing your spouse's personality type will help you so much, because like for Riley, one thing that's really important to her is comfort. Like that's a big priority.
Like the love languages.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Knowing how someone ticks, like that's huge.
So it's like, you know how they tick. So it's like, for me, I can be fine without being super comfortable, but it's like, I know like Riley, like I turned the fan on the other night. We have like a fan that blows on us, and it was like pointing on her, and she's like, can you move the fan? And I'm like, see, if that was me, I would have just been fine with the fan blowing on me. I would just cover my face with a blanket or something. But I was like, but to her, that's like a bigger, so it's like our personalities are different. And so if I didn't know her personality and I was just like an unconscious husband, I would just be like, ugh. But it's like, okay, yeah, fine. That's cool. It's like, I know that's how you, and yeah, same thing with the love languages and stuff. So yeah, definitely interesting to figure it out. Maybe we can do a podcast on personalities one day, because I'm studying it a little bit more right now, so it'd be interesting.
Well, we appreciate you guys listening and tuning in.
Hopefully it was kind of entertaining.
Yeah, I hope you guys were able to get to know us a little bit better. And, you know, like we said, we're wanting to really try and push ourselves this summer, and being able to put out some good content for you guys to not only be helpful, but to entertain, and to be able to help you see some of the good and enjoy life to the fullest. So that's all I gotta say. So we love you guys. Subscribe.
Love you. Tell your friends. Get your friends on here. Hit us up. Look, I know we haven't had anyone on the podcast for a minute, but just hit us up, man. You know, send us a good text message or a DM on the Instas. And
if you're a girl, just DM me, not Reiss. He's married.
But listen, yo, seriously, I've been talking to a lot of people. I'm like, yo, I have a podcast, because we just bring it up with people. It's kind of funny because we're trying to
just like an awkward, long conversation. Did you know I have a podcast?
Yeah, so it's like I was talking about it with some kid today, and he was like, man, I've always wanted to start a podcast. And I was like, dude, come on ours. And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah, man. We don't care who you is. Just come Come as you are. So hit us up. We'll get a Zoom link sent over, and we'll do it that way. Unless you live close to us, you can come do it in person, which would be very fun. So love you guys.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye. Also, no, I'm just kidding. Also, I have to pee and